So I'm back here in Michigan. This is probably the most home I've ever felt in my entire life. The longest I've ever lived anywhere. And it's weird being back here. Places like where like right now I'm just pacing. Not pacing, but just like walking through this trail. I had a lot of issues emotionally that I used to deal with out here. A lot of major decisions that I've made out here, and it's just weird to be back here. It's weird to be back in this town that I used to live in. I haven't been back for 6 years, and it's looking like I'm gonna move back here. It's pretty crazy. Gonna go back to the old job I used to have and everything. Ran into a couple people I know a lot of people from there, and they still work there, which is kind of weird. But it's not weird, but I mean it's just funny. Like, I used to take that job for granted. I used to think the job sucked, and all these other jobs I've worked at this last 6 years, it made me really understand, like, man, all jobs have suckiness, but like the company was actually not that bad. They didn't treat us too bad. And you know, I take things for granted. I've taken a lot of things for granted in my life. People, places, even taking myself for granted, honestly. Now I'm at this stage of my life where it's time to move on. And it's time to just focus on making money and definitely my health. I'm excited to go back to the same gym I used to go to all the time. I'm gonna be moving like a mile away from it, so that's gonna be awesome. So I can just walk there. My kid could walk there if we have to. And just really focusing on, I guess, things that really matter. You know, I spend all this time with these videos on here talking about politics and stuff like that, which is cool. But like, what does it really do? You know, Tucker Carlson came out with a video yesterday. And he made a lot of good points. He's like, we're all debating about stuff, and in 5 years we won't even care about this stuff. It won't even matter. Fighting over stupid crap. So, you know, I feel pretty, I'm gonna go this way. I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to make this transition, because it's a difficult transition. Whenever you move somewhere, it's not that easy. I mean, it's possible. Like when you live somewhere and have to move because you don't like the way things are going there. And I'm honestly moving to a state where I don't agree with them all the time with a lot of things that they do politically. And perhaps maybe I can make some changes here. Who the hell knows? It is a swing state. But there's no guarantee that I'm going to stay here forever either. I'm pretty much starting not from ground zero, but I have a lot of debt to overcome, which I could wipe out most of it with my investments. I don't want to give up my investments. I don't want to give them up unless I absolutely have to. I think I'm in not the greatest situation. You know, it seems like a lot of people are better off. Well, they portray themselves as being better off financially. They're probably really not much better off than me. They're probably living check to check too. I'm not really even living check to check at this point. I'm not saying like I feel like I could take a month or two off of working, because, and it's not good to take on debt. It's not. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but sometimes you got to. Sometimes mentally, when you get drained from something, you have to move on. And you really don't see. Okay, so like, it's so funny. Like, life is so funny. I've complained about my old job. Well, my current job. I can't even call it my old job yet, but my current job so much. And it's last week. The last week, my boss came up to me and he's like, "We're starting a weekend crew, right?" And he said I was gonna be a lead, but basically I'm gonna be the supervisor. I've had a supervisor role before. At Wendy's, I was actually a shift manager, but a lot of opportunity. Like, it's funny that all that hard work finally, when I'm about to move, when I've been thinking about this move, finally this opportunity comes. Right when I'm about to move, and of course, like, if I stay in Missouri, financially I'll be better off. I don't really like the job that much. There's a lot of stress that comes in with that. I come home filthy. I hate coming home filthy. It's not just coming home filthy. Like, it's looking like a coal miner and having to wash that off. Sometimes having to take 2 showers to wash all that crap off. But I would probably be financially better working there, right? For the short term. And I was thinking about it too. He said, "I'm starting a weekend crew. I want 3, you'll work 3 days, 12-hour days, and you'll get paid for 40. Even though you work 36 hours, you get paid for 40. That's what they do on the weekend." So, like, they do some cool things for people, profit sharing and stuff like that. But they get rid of people really fast. And I also thought it'd be cool to have them hire my son. Just graduated. He's not at age yet, but I think that I could get him to hire him. And then I can just train him. I can train him on everything that I learned. And that would be like a great first job for him. He can learn a lot of different things. And I'm leaving like somebody I really care about. I'm leaving like my mom and stuff too, and family down there. But like she's like my best friend, man, and it really, she like gets me. Not many people have ever really got me in my lifetime, and it's really hard to, like, even though we have the internet and stuff like that, it's still hard to leave her behind like that. Like, it's not gonna be the same, you know what I mean? Like, at any time she could just come and hang out, and now she can't. So that's kind of hard, you know what I mean? It's hard to leave people that really, really get you. Like, she fucking knows me, like, she knows me like better than probably anybody I've ever met knows me. And that's sad to leave that. And moving out here to Michigan, and it's gonna be really hard. Like, starting off, it's gonna be really hard. The cool thing is the company I'm gonna be working for is a good company, and it helped me get through the last recession in 2008. It's a good company to work for if we're gonna go through a recession. And they have incentives where where I'm gonna be working, how much I select, how many boxes I select, how fast I do it, I can make more money. So there's people making, the standard rate, they start you off at $18.50 an hour, which is really hard to live off of. But if you work, like, there's somebody making like $40 an hour there because they work so hard. That's a good opportunity for me to make money quickly if I work hard and get in shape. And people probably think I'm crazy because when I left that company, I left Especially people that work there currently probably think I'm crazy for coming back, because I gave up 11 years of, seniority. If I still worked there, I'd have 17 years. But it's like, I really don't care about that. I don't care about seniority. You never know when you'll lose stuff. You never know, like, if you lose that one day, to hold on to that, because people there like clutch on to seniority because it puts you at better jobs. But like, I don't care, because I'm there to make money. I'm going to be doing the same job, so it really doesn't matter. Hopefully I get my kid in there. That'd be cool too. But it's a good company, and I feel confident in the long run. I mean, I'm gonna make it work either way. But it's a hard transition. Like, moving to another state is really hard. So I had to come out here, spend a bunch of money to come out here, because my kid needed to get his car registered, right? And since I have the title and I own the car technically, I haven't transferred it off to him yet. I have to be out here to get all that done so he can get it registered, get his tags and everything. But in order to move somewhere else, you have to have a job lined up. So it was really, really huge deal for me to actually be here physically, because a lot of companies want you physically there. But then it's and the same with like the apartment thing too. So like, I got an apartment, pretty much I just have a couple things to do, like send them my current check stubs, and that can be done digitally. And then to be there physically, instead of like doing it all over the phone, they know that you're a real person. It just kind of means a little bit more. Like I said, I probably could have got it done over the phone or through the internet, getting this place set up, because they look at everything, look at your background check, your credit score. They want to make sure that you have money. They don't want you to sign a lease and then you can't pay it. They don't want to evict people. But it's not easy. It's not easy to leave a state, move to another state. But what it takes is money, and it takes, now me, I've worked at this job before, and I knew I was going to get this job because I left on good terms. I'm a good worker, and I know there's a lack of workers that want to do this type of job. They're probably having a hard time finding people to do this job, because they don't want to work no more, and they're lazy. And it's really, really grueling manual labor. I mean, I already do grueling manual labor as it is, so it's like nothing to me. But it's not easy to move to another state. It really is, and there's a lot of stress that's involved. Like, what I did is I worked my 10-hour shift, and then I had 4 hours of sleep, and I didn't want to get in at the hotel like at 12 o'clock, in the middle of the night, because it's like a 12-hour drive. I got up at 7 and we left, and we got here around, I don't know, almost 9 o'clock. And that drive is grueling. When you're just sitting, it's grueling to do that. I've done it plenty of times, going cross country, but it's expensive, to have a hotel. If you don't know I know a lot of people. I probably could have, if I started talking to people, I probably could have crashed on somebody's couch if I really wanted to, but I didn't want to do that, because like, I haven't talked to anybody for like 6 years that have been here, so I didn't want to be like a bum. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to announce that like I'm here to everybody either. But if you're trying to move to a new place, you can do it. You just have to save money to be able to do it, and then line yourself up with the job. It's what you have to do is make sure that you get the like places that unless you're like renting from somebody like a house or something, that's a little bit easier. But if you're renting from like an apartment, a company like that, they want like some type of letter of like offering, like an offer sheet. So you got to get that and bring it to them so they can know that you have a job lined up. You just have to prove that you have a job lined up, and you have to prove that you've been working so they know that you're going to pay them. So my advice is to go out somewhere. If you can't do everything online, go out there, get a hotel. I mean, nowadays you can just get an Uber from the airport, but that costs a lot of money too. So it can be done. It's just, it takes a lot of money for you to move to a state, different place. Not a lot of people don't want to get out of their comfort zone. You know, when you're living in a place like Washington State and they're changing these radical laws, or they could just take your kids, like, there's a lot of places hiring, man. You just have to, you might end up being a office desk or something. You might make more money, you might have to take a little bit of a pay cut. But as long as you have a job lined up, you can find a place to stay. So you have a kind of a soft landing. I wanted somewhere to go. I didn't want to just like get this all done, put in my 2 weeks notice, like leave the place I'm renting, the house I'm renting, come up here with no job lined up. And no place to go. Like, I didn't want to just be like sitting in hotels and hoping they approve me so I can put my stuff in. As soon as I come here, I can start moving my shit in. But yeah, it's definitely possible. For me, I'm gonna have to work hard to pay. For me, I just put on debt. I mean, it's not good, but me personally, I just think it's time for me to come back. Like I said, my oldest kid's here. Their mom is here, so my youngest kid gets to see his mom more. You never know what the future holds. You never know what people will be taken off of this planet. And yeah, that's it. I don't know. I got nothing else to say.